Dr. Fimister, is clerical celibacy apostolic? And if it is, why do we see various interpretations between the Eastern rites and the Western rites?
Well, clerical continence is apostolic, in the sense that the church has always prized perfect continence and virginity above marriage, while holding marriage in great esteem. St. Paul describes marriage as the great mystery or the great sacrament, but he also says he who marries does well, he who does not marry does better. And so it was always seen in the very early church, the period before Constantine's conversion, the first 3 centuries, it was always seen as highly desirable, the sort of normal form of life for a Christian to live in perfect continence. And you see this very early on. Saint Ignatius writing to Polycarp. So these are both people who knew the apostles themselves. He talks about people who are perfectly continent for the sake of the Lord's body. So he connects the idea of voluntary abstention from marital relations to preparing yourself to receive the Eucharist. Um, so he's not specifically talking about clerical celibacy, but you can see there the connection between proximity to the Eucharist and that kind of ascetical practice. But it's not just a denial, it's also an anticipation of the kingdom when men will be like angels, neither marrying nor given in marriage, which heaven on earth breaks out on the altar during the Mass. And so it's appropriate those who are most closely associated with the Eucharist should anticipate the life of the world to come in their own personal lives. It seems to me that the most plausible explanation of the evidence for those early centuries is that clergy were in general perfectly continent. In fact, I mean, St. Paul says that presbyters, priests, should be the husband of only one wife. He doesn't mean that the laity are allowed to practice polygamy. What he means is that they shouldn't have remarried after their wife died, which is very common in those times because so many women died in childbirth before the advent of modern medicine. So widowers were, in a way, much more common than widows. And the reason why, of course, he doesn't want them to remarry after bereavement is because he's assuming that they're going to need to be practicing perfect continence once they've been ordained to the presbyterate. Um, After the Constantine's conversion, the faithful were less zealous because by converting, you were no longer volunteering to be eaten alive by wild animals to the entertainment of your neighbours.